Signalis is one of my favorite horror games. Incredibly dark and atmospheric, it plays like a love letter to survival horror games of old, blending elements from games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill to create something that feels very intentionally inspired but still incredibly unique. You play as Elster, a replica, one of many in a line of mass-produced cyborg clones that exist to serve a galaxy-spanning totalitarian nation. And after crash landing on the icy planet of Lang, she begins her search for a Gestalt companion, a woman named Alina Saul. Exploring the halls of a monster-infested mining facility, you uncover countless horrors, both supernatural and bleakly realistic. A tragic tale is woven of horrors beyond human comprehension, identity and expression under the boot of a militaristic regime, and a forbidden love doomed to die by uncaring forces beyond any one person's control. Oh, speaking of love, Signalis is probably best known for the copious amounts of gay porn it produces. Yeah, who'da thunk? A game full of beautiful women who are gay for each other attracted an absolutely rabid sapphic fan base. Not that I'm complaining, I'm one of them. Seriously though, if you can think of a pairing between characters, someone has almost certainly made art of it, and that's before factoring in all the OCs people have made to make things extra gay. Honestly, I've seen enough art of these girls slamming clams and impregnating each other to fill 1,000 lifetimes. But you know what? It feels like a lot of the fan base forgets the true heroines of Signalis, the ones who make the game possible to play in the first place. Won't anyone spare a moment to think about all the corrupted replicas you fight? These lovely ladies are the ones enabling all the gay fan art, but barely any of it is actually about them, and I think that's a little sad. But don't worry, because I'm here to be the change I want to see in the world. That's right, tonight we're talking about Signalis' baddest baddies as I dare to answer one simple question. Which corrupted replica is the most fuckable? That's right, this is episode 4 of Monster Smash, a series where I throw my dignity out the window to shine a spotlight on media's creepiest crawlies. So what does this guy's penis look like? And I figured it was high time to get extra gay with it and do one purely for the girlies. So what better set of monsters than Signalis' corrupted replicas? What about Adler? What about Adler? Oh, speaking of, Elster is also disqualified because she doesn't have a corrupted form. Sorry, the cutscene at the start of the game doesn't really count for me. As usual, the monsters will be ranked on 3 very important factors. Design, which is their overall appearance, smoochability, which is self-explanatory, and kink factor, which is basically any power or ability that makes them uniquely sexy. And this time around, I promise I'm going to try really hard not to let my pre-existing non-monster replica biases get in the way of the ranking. Side note, if you look like this, here's my phone number, my email address, the exact coordinates of my current location, your copy of the marriage certificate. Believe it or not, this is actually better than usual. Well anyway, before we get started here, I know you're probably wondering about something very important, and don't you worry.
Hey, Ara. Do you feel like talking about having sex? I mean, it's not just because you're asking, but I'd pick you.
They can consent just fine, so there's really nothing to worry about. Now let's go ahead and rank those replicas. At number 8, we have the humble Mina unit, which might come as a surprise at first glance. She's a big, buff, beautiful woman, able to heft around a mining laser with ease, which means she'd probably have no issue picking you up with her big, strong arms and keeping you suspended as she has her way with you. So what could possibly set her back behind literally everyone else? I mean, she even has a perfectly smoochable face. Yeah, so that blood waterfall kind of fucks the whole vibe. Unless you like the idea of drowning in it, which, you know, more power to you. Also, that's totally gonna soak an entire bed and make for an absolute laundry nightmare, and no one wants that. I should say, at the very least she can shut her visor and stop it temporarily, but as we see in her boss fight, she can't keep all that blood in forever. She's basically the final boss of period sex, so unless you've got a snorkel and a dream, I think she's pretty obviously bottom tier. Now, I can't go without mentioning that she does summon other replicas during her boss fight, but that doesn't really make her any more fuckable. Thankfully, Rose Engine thought ahead about this and put a gurney in the corner just for her. Awesome. Next up is the Oila unit, the replica class that serves as the most basic enemy that Elster fights, and that's pretty much exactly why she's in second to last place. Sure, she's got beautiful bright eyes and a heartwarming toothy smile, but there's really not much going for her otherwise. Corrupted Oilas do carry knives and meat cleavers, which could be good for some edge play, but even that is pretty unimpressive in the face of her competition, or at least what's left of their faces. I will say, her little hat is very cute. Not cute enough, though. What if an Oila was taller? Well, then you'd have a star unit, basically. Well, tall women are incredibly sexy. At least in my books. And the developers' books if you ask me, but that's neither here nor there. Plus, that riot baton is much more conducive to sex than any stab implement, perfect for impact play, or maybe even penetration if you're brave enough. On top of that, imagine the tension in the air when her veil gets removed for some smooching action. Now that's sexy. Unfortunately, much like oily units, stars still lack that extra something to secure a higher spot, so number 6 it is. At number 5, we have the Ara unit, and despite initial appearances, I think she's a pretty great contender. Sure, she fails the fingernail check pretty hard, but her signature ability is popping out of floorboards and vents to ambush you when you least expect it, which opens up a wide variety of exciting scenes to take part in. Just imagine, you're exploring the corrupted facility, when suddenly she pulls you into a vent to fuck you out of nowhere. How can you not go for that? CNC fans are eating good. Emphasis on the first C. But since that can only hold so much appeal, I think she caps out right here. You gotta admit, when it comes to getting handsy, you can't do much better than this. Coming in at number 4 is the Chimera, a unique creature that lives in the literal middle of nowhere. This lovely conglomeration is incredibly grabby, with no less than 9 arms to pleasure you with. Imagine all those fingers in your mouth. Ooh la la. The frame around the Chimera's body could also act as handy handles during lovemaking. Just make sure you've had your tetanus shot first. All that being said, speccing into hands comes at a cost too great to bear because the Chimera is completely lacking in smoochable mouth parts. This glaring oversight, combined with the frame blocking comfortable strap usage and straddling, makes for quite a handful of problems. You know her. You love her. They made her into a marketable plushie. Number 3 is none other than the Stork. Wait, why did I put her at number 3 in the first place? I mean, yeah, she's really tall, and she's the fan favorite, and she's got a literal third leg growing out of her face, and those are always good for grinding on, but, like, that's it. She doesn't even have— oh, what do we have here? Holy shit, that is a long-ass tongue. God damn. Imagine what she could do with that thing. Definitely the most smoochable replica, plus her head game's gotta go crazy. I wonder how much of it'll fit in my— hey, wait a sec. I just realized she's dragging it all over the floor. That's so nasty. You know, I think people are really sleeping on Calibri when it comes to Signalis monster designs. Stork gets all the fan art and merch, but just look at her. She's so cute and lumpy. That's like perfect for a plushie. On top of being small and cute, Calibri also has a huge trick up her sleeve, and that's bioresonance. On a basic level, bioresonance is basically just a fancy word for psychic powers, but as we'll see in a bit, it does get a little more complicated than that. Either way, psychic powers are always welcome here, and Calibri puts them to excellent use. Even if you're not down for being psychically disoriented or having images beamed into your head, Calibri uses bioresonance to copy yourself, and as they say, the more the merrier. Now, Psychic Ghost Group Sex sounds pretty fucking awesome if you ask me, but yet again, we've got a replica who's pretty unsmoochable, at least in a making out sense, and that's even when we're grading on the Signalis skull face curve. What a bummer. So close to greatness. Now, Calibri is very sexy in a cute way, but the first place winner absolutely blows her and every other replica out of the water, so let's go ahead and see who it is. As you explore S23 Sierpinski and encounter all these corrupted replicas, you slowly uncover information about one unit who stands head and shoulders above the rest. Literally. She's the commander of Sierpinski Station, both fearsome and beautiful like a force of nature. The one, the only, Falca. Listen, sometimes the obvious answer is the correct answer. She's over 8 feet tall and has crazy psychic powers. Like, come on. Also, her design is just so good. Those exaggerated opera gloves and thigh-high boots work together to maximize her sleigh, and her long rat-like teeth are perfect for nibbling on you. That halo's also gotta make for a pretty good handle. Just saying. As far as her abilities go, she's a penetration specialist with no less than 7 spears to her name. But don't worry, she's no stranger to receiving either. And capping it all off is her extraordinarily powerful bioresonance. As you can see in her boss fight, she can straight up warp reality by changing the environment, which means she can set the mood perfectly for any partner. She can even spawn beds. How convenient. Honestly, with everything that she's capable of, it makes perfect sense that everyone worships the ground she floats over. They really aren't lying when they say she's a literal goddess. Listen, I never said I was immune to propaganda. Well, in any case, I think no matter which way you slice it, Falca is absolutely the most fuckable corrupted replica in Signalis. Before I wrap things up here, I absolutely have to give a shout out to Yuri Stern and Barbara Whitman, the devs who brought these gorgeous women to life. The monster designs in this game are genuinely so iconic, and I feel like that's not an easy feat to pull off in this day and age, so hats off to them. I genuinely really love Signalis. I'll probably do a more normal video on it eventually, but if you're a fan of survival horror and you haven't played it yet, like, what are you doing? Seriously, go play it. I'm not asking. But anyway, if you excuse me, I've got some next level monster strap to sec. Thanks so much for watching another episode of Monster Smash. If you liked the video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe for more. Your support means the world to me. And as always, let me know who you want me to talk about smashing next. I'm always looking for more suggestions. But until then, I'll see you next time. Bye bye!